Welcome back to the Own It series. This is the third installment in our three-part installment, all about how you can own your business instead of having it own you. In the very first episode, we talked about you in relationship to you and self-worth and being able to dive into feeling confident in who you are. In the second episode, we talked about money, honey, and it was all about the feelings of abundance and your relationship to money and making money so you can hit that six figures. Now, in this episode, we're taking it even a step further into talking about you in relationship to your business. You can't say that you want to be an empire builder. You can't say that you want to build a business without really knowing what that means and how entrepreneurship can change your life if you let it. But there's some pitfalls that I want to make sure that you avoid on your entrepreneurial journey. Okay, if you're ready to own it, let's dive in now to this episode. Let's go.
Welcome to the Flourishing Entrepreneur Podcast with Alea Harris. This is the place where you and your fellow empire-building entrepreneurs come to vanquish the burnout monster and boost your glow and cash flow with energy alignment techniques and tried and true marketing strategies. Since seven figures won't get itself, hit that subscribe button and never miss out on your chance to skyrocket profits, tap into your intuition, and manifest your dreams. And now, your host, Powerhouse Story Brand Certified Guide, award-winning marketer, bioenergetic business coach, and Japanese whiskey lover, Alea Harris.
You are an idea alchemist. You take ideas and manifest them into reality. That is the definition of being an entrepreneur. Someone who takes something and makes it into something bigger and greater, or even someone who takes nothing and makes it into something. You create. That is who you are. But in order to create, you need to have a vision in your head of what you're going to create. It would be like a painter sitting down at a canvas and really having no idea of any type of direction or end goal. They just sit down and fling some paint on the canvas. It probably is not going to be the same powerful a piece of art that it would be otherwise, because your creation is your intention manifested. So you have an intention which might feel so small, a want, a vision, a little inkling in your ear of what you want to create. And that's all it is. It exists between your ears, right? In your brain, in your heart. And you've been able to download this little sense of where you're supposed to go. And then you plant that seed of intention into the fertile ground of entrepreneurship, especially a holistic approach to entrepreneurship, and work that soil until it grows. That is what being an entrepreneur is. But without that seed and without that vision, you're not going to be able to build a business. In the episodes that we've covered so far in this quick little mini series, we've talked about how you need to feel confident in yourself in order to even feel like you can make money and build a business, and that you are worthy and you deserve a business and a life that you love. But in this episode, we're going to have that take shape a little bit more so you can understand how to develop that vision and have that vision serve you and your life. When I'm developing a vision, I like to start big. I like to start at the very end, like when I am surrounded by my loved ones on my deathbed. What have I accomplished? What vision have I attained? And then I work backwards from there. You could also start off with a role model in mind. Like, I've always had this concept that I want to be Oprah big. You heard it here on this podcast. When I am Oprah big, then you can come back and say, I remember when you said that that's what you wanted to do and that's who you wanted to become. A lot of people use like Beyonce as their guiding light, or they might use a business guru or someone in their field, right, to say, that's what I want to be. I want to build something that is that big, that has that great of an impact on the lives of people. I want to be that memorable. It could be that your vision is, I want to be completely still, knowing that everything is taken care of. My kids are taken care of. My home is taken care of. My husband, my spouse, they're taken care of. And that's what I need. That is my great vision, is an internal sense of peace. Whatever that vision is, there are different components that make up that vision that you need to take into account. First, you will not be able to attain your vision unless it is in alignment with the way that the universe is rolling. So, a vision that is purely self serving will not be a vision that comes to pass. Your vision needs to have a sense of the highest good in mind for it to really serve you and other people. So the question that you really need to ask yourself is not, what is my vision? The first question is, who am I going to serve? Where are the people that are out there that I feel like I can touch and make a difference in their lives, and then in turn make a difference in mine? The next question I want you to ask yourself when you're developing your vision is, what problem can I solve for this specific group of people? People do not care about your passion unless you can show how it solves their problem or helps them make a profit. So if I'm saying, I'm so passionate, I have this vision, they're like, yeah. Why do I care? What's in it for me? It's just the way the world works. So if you're going to think about how you can serve, what does your service do to alleviate a pain, to clarify something for your audience, to allow them to do something different, allow them to be someone different, provide a transformation for them? What is that problem that you can solve? You might think it's something like very tangible, like, I am a person who makes balloon archways. So the problem I solve is people want balloon archways at their wedding. I make balloon archways. That's part of it, but that's not all of it. The problem that you really truly end up solving is surprise and delight and a bit of whimsy and color and an architectural element that doesn't cost huge amounts of money but has a large impact. It makes people say, oh, the host put in extra time, energy, and effort. That is the problem or sets of problems that you're solving. So I want you to think bigger than just what is directly in front of your face. Then, when you're developing your vision, I want you to think of what is the way you can uniquely solve that problem. There are lots of people who make balloon archways, but how are yours different? How can you differentiate yourself? Because then that vision becomes to take shape and will allow you to tap into why you are here. What is your assignment as this spirit having this human experience? If you were designed to solve the problem in the exact same way as everyone else, you wouldn't be given this particular vision. I'm a big believer that this vision is given to you and only you in the way that only you can bring it about. So you need to think about, how will I do this differently that feels in alignment with who I am? Sometimes this might be you like connecting with that thing that you say, oh, well, that doesn't matter. Oh, that doesn't belong there. That, I mean, yeah, I'm doing this over here on the left, but everything on the right, that's something different. Usually that magic happens at the intersection of the two, the intersection of what you are doing now and you think it's what you're quote unquote supposed to be doing, and your background of things that you thought you had left behind, or your other skills that you use in other areas, or your hobbies, or your other interests. What is the intersection of all of those things to bring it together? That's exactly how I have developed Flourish Marketing. So I'm a marketer, but I also was a spiritual coach, and I didn't want to do one or the other. I wanted to do them both. I wanted to teach empire building entrepreneurs how to flourish in business and in life simultaneously, getting in touch with their intuition, learning energetic techniques, learning how to make money, and having the position that you need, aligned energy plus business strategy, to have that flourishing empire. So I built Flourish Marketing with that in mind, and I am the only one that does what I do. I am the only, at the time of this recording, the only bioenergetic business coach that exists in the world. I am the only one who has the Flourishing Empire framework because I created it. And I've seen how it has worked for my clients, and I've seen how it's worked for me. I uniquely solve the problem of people who want to own a business, but they don't want to do it while feeling burned out, battered, and lost. But they want to make a lot of money, and they want to feel like they're really manifesting an authentic version of their vision out into the world. So I took an intersection of two different things that I loved and found that it really was related to the core of who I was. I'm super woo, but I also like Louis bags. And if that's who I am, then I'm going to shine in who I truly am and bring that out into the world. And that has been what people also gravitate towards. People will gravitate towards you when you are truly living in your authenticity, who you really are, not like, oh, well, no one's gonna like that because that's a little weird. People love weird. Weird is what is exciting. Weird is what is different. So bring a little bit of your weird to the party and see what happens. I brought a little bit of my weird to the party and I ended up loving my business and I ended up making a lot of money. So what can you do with your little bit of weird so that you can figure out how you can uniquely solve problems that help serve others? You can do this in your services, the way you structure your services, the way that you deliver your services, the way that you have the systems around your services. And you can also do this by developing frameworks. I developed the Flourishing Empire framework. That is how I teach people to flourish in business and life. What type of unique framework can you develop that's easy to understand, easy to follow, so people can take your ideas and really bring them to life in their own lives? The next question I want you to answer for yourself as you are developing your own vision is, how can I iterate upon that solution? So, in the last episode, I talked about not doing all the things. Do not do all the things. Instead, you want to do one thing and do it really well. But once you do that well, as opposed to then hopping to the next, how do you iterate upon that concept? So, you have a course, for example. Then how do you create a book around that course? How do you create a journal around that course? How do you create a podcast around that course? You see how it just is expanding? The content is the same, but you're delivering it in multiple ways. This works really well. I'll use StoryBrand as an example. StoryBrand started with some workshops and then started with a book, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Now you can access that same content in live workshops, one-on-one, in with a guide operationalizing that framework. You can find that framework in Business Made Simple. There's at least 2 different podcasts at the time of this recording that address the same framework, right? It's the same framework. He's taken this framework and he's written multiple books based off of it. He's iterated upon it. He's grown it, but it's the same framework. It's about communicating it in different ways for different people so that you can just suck all the juicy goodness out of it and help and serve as many people as possible. So when you're thinking about iteration and multiple streams of income, which is what building an empire really is, how do you build multiple streams of income? It doesn't have to be so wildly different. It could be you diving in more deeply into a certain concept, diving in more deeply into a certain service, without taking up more of your time. You don't want to necessarily offer only one-on-one services. How can you iterate upon your service so that it's one-on-one, one-to-many, right? So that maybe you're teaching other people how to deliver your framework. How can you iterate upon that solution? And then how does that fit into your vision a year from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now down the road? And then often people think about vision as this thing that never really gets done and this constantly moving target. And I disagree. Visions do iterate, right? They change, they morph, and they are multifaceted. But when you're starting with a vision, you want to set a vision, accomplish the vision, move on to the next vision. Otherwise, you will become demotivated. So I want you to answer the question now, what does my life look like when this vision is accomplished? So that when you get there, you look around and you say, okay, time for a new vision, time for another script. Talking back to Donald Miller again, he has this book called Hero on a Mission. which again is very much related to the story brand framework. But in Hero on a Mission, he talks about how we have different scripts that are written for our lives. We're in school, then we maybe have the marriage script, then we have the baby script. And then a lot of people have issues when they become empty nesters, for example. What's the script for that? The kids are gone, you're back in a place where you get to write your own script, and you don't really know what to do because that vision has been accomplished. Well, what you do is you get another vision, you write another script. So what does your life look like when this script, this vision is complete? When you've seen the end credits roll on this movie, then you start the sequel, right? And you can have as many, it can be like the Fast and the Furious series. You can have as many movies as you want to, but you need to make sure you have a start and an end to keep yourself motivated. A vision board is a great tool to help do this. I like to think of vision boards as that encapsulated movie, that encapsulated chapter of your story, that encapsulated book in your multi-book series, where you are achieving it, and then you're going to look at it one day and realize that it is achieved. You also need to look at it before you see it manifested in the physical realm and relate to the information as if it is a current snapshot of your life. So as opposed to looking at your vision board as a future thing, you are looking at your vision board and saying, wow, thank you so much, self, for writing down all the favorite parts of my life and putting into pictures so that I can enjoy it. I love that I have this now. I'm so grateful that I have this now. I'm so grateful that I can relate to this. And all of what I have accomplished is beautiful. I want you to relate you to your vision board and turn it into a present board, a current snapshot of your life. That will help you answer the questions that I posed to you and help you achieve that vision. Once you have that vision board or your present board, you also want to get really baseline brass tacks and create SMART goals. SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T, are goals that are actually gonna happen. Not wishes, not hopes, not dreams. They are actual goals that you will attain. S is strategic. You want to make sure that it makes sense for your overall vision, not just a random willy-nilly goal, and you're wasting your time and you're not working on something that is a high priority. M is measurable. You need to be able to say, what does this look like? How much of this do I need? Is it the measurement is money? I'm going to make 6 figures. Well, then you say A. You have S, you have strategic, you have M that is measurable, and you have A that is attainable. If you're saying you want to make 6 figures in 2 days, unless you know something I don't, that's probably not attainable. But if you say, I'm going to sign up for Alea's Own It membership and make 6 figures in 12 months or less, that is attainable. And you can use that to help move yourself forward and to tick off your progress towards that goal. It's also realistic. Realistic is very near to attainable, but it's something that people can misconstrue and say, well, it's not realistic for me to make 6 figures. I don't deserve to make 6 figures. Da, 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 da. If you're still in that mindset, go back and listen to the second episode of this mini series. Realistic is just about, okay, am I trying to have a baby while on birth control? That's not realistic. That's not going to happen. I probably should get off the pill before I try to have a baby, right? That's more realistic. You need to make it so that you are setting up everything in your life so that your goals are realistic. And then I really love the T in SMART goals, which is time bound. Time bound means I'm going to hit 6 figures in 12 months. Boom. You set a date, you set a deadline. Because if you don't set the date, you set the deadline, it's not going to happen. And then you are not able to break it down into smaller goals. Well, if you need to hit 6 figures in 12 months, well, then what does that mean for your monthly income and revenue? And what does that mean for your quarterly revenue? So you can hit those goals when they're more time bound. So I would say create your vision, answer those questions, create your present board, and then set up your SMART goals in relation to that present board. The thing to keep in mind here, and something that's really important and something that I've lost track of multiple times, is that Your business should serve your vision, not the other way around. You are not living to make your business happen. Your business should be living to make you happen. It will require you to set up systems and processes and to do some work in the beginning, not an overwhelming amount of work, but to do some work in the beginning to make this happen, but you should not be living for your business. You should own your business. Your business should not own you, which is the whole premise of our membership, Own It. Own It is a 12-month membership that is designed to help you reach six figures in about 12 months or so while enjoying the journey without feeling burned out, battered, and lost, so that you are flourishing in business and in life. It's not about one or the other. When people are setting their vision and they're working towards it, there are some common pitfalls that they fall into. And I've been guilty of falling into all three, which is how I know how much they suck and why I'm trying to tell you to avoid them. They come into the areas of time, money, and clarity. The first one is time. You say, I'm not even gonna talk about you. Let me just say what I did, because I don't know you like that, but I don't want to put things on you. So I'm gonna talk to you about what I did. I said, I'm gonna build a business. I'm gonna work my little Watusi off to build this business. I don't care how much it takes. I don't care how long it takes. Which meant I worked all the frickin' time, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. I didn't set up boundaries with myself. My husband, God bless him, was so supportive, sneaking me food under the door, basically, because he believes in me and believes in my dreams. But I needed to set up boundaries so that I could actually enjoy what I was doing, find the fun in it, find the excitement in it, and better serve my clients and have the better ideas. They eventually came, but it was like, woof, pulling teeth to get intuition because I was exhausted. I really like Mike Michalowicz and his books in which he uses Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law states our consumption of a resource expands to meet its supply. So if you tell yourself you have 14 hours a day, 7 days a week to spend on building a business, you will take that amount of time or more. If you tell yourself, I actually don't have that amount of time and I don't want to have that amount of time, I'm only going to work on this business 3 days a week. And I'm only going to work on this business for 8 hours a day, 3 days a week. Then you will find that prioritization becomes a whole lot easier because you're like, well, I only have these 3 days a week and I'm not going above that. That is me setting a hard boundary. I want to take care of my kids. I want to hang out with my spouse. I want to go and do Pilates, whatever it is. This is my boundary. When you set that boundary, you will be able to accomplish more. You will get more focused. You will take away all the other shoulda, coulda, woulda stuff. You won't have time to take all of the courses and like just to go way too hard into the podcasts and the articles and other people's opinions because you have to prioritize because you have a limited amount of time. I encourage you to set boundaries with your time. Second pitfall is money. Pay everyone else besides yourself. That's what we do. We pay everyone else besides ourselves. And then we end up resenting our business. That's what I did. And I was like, oh, why am I even doing this? I'm just doing this as like the Red Cross, right? Like serving other people while I'm sitting here broke talking to my debt collectors trying to figure out how I'm going to make it work. Don't do that. You want to pay yourself first. One thing to think about when this is happening is, are you outsourcing the right things at the right time? Do you need to pay them to do that? If you're paying so many people to do all the things, are you doing too many things? Do you need to scale back on services? Do you need to say, hey, I don't actually want to do any of this. I want to do something totally differently. I want to be a solopreneur. I don't want to build a team. You are in charge. You are owning this experience. So you get to say when you want to change and when you want it to be different. In episode 1 of this series, I talked about constantly being aware of yourself and putting consistency towards your awareness practice. When you are aware of yourself, you can look around and say, I don't like this, and also find the inner power to say, I want to change it. And that needs to happen when you are using money as a litmus test to see if you are going in the right direction. And if you are not paying yourself, then you are not going in the right direction. Something needs to change. The third thing is clarity. Most of the times we can't see the forest because of the trees. We get so stuck in the weeds and the nitty-gritty details that we lose sight of that vision that we've set. And that vision board, that present board, just collects dust and is not something that is actively working in our lives to help us manifest our intentions. This means you probably don't have tools in place to maintain perspective and alignment. You aren't meditating. You aren't excavating and replenishing your energy. You're not resting. You need to rest. Rest is a productivity tool. This goes back to the time boundaries. This goes back to awareness. And this goes back to you using the framework, the Flourishing Empire framework, which is you're going to make sure you're in alignment first, then you're going to manifest your goals, and then you're going to evolve into an even higher version of yourself. All the while making sure that you're using energy recalibration techniques and tried and true business strategies to build a flourishing empire. That is what we're teaching inside of Own It. Own It is the membership that will help you avoid pitfalls of time, money, and clarity and build that business that you love, that you own instead of it owning you. You'll be able to manifest that vision. You'll be able to help a lot of people. And most importantly, you'll be able to help yourself. You'll be able to move forward in a way that makes sense for how you want to live your life. You can break generational wealth curses. You can break your attachments to lack and only subsisting and surviving. You can break the attachments that you have to falling in line with everybody else's expectations of you. This is your opportunity to do something different. This is your opportunity to change your destiny and to change your life and to have someone like me take you by the hand and say, this is exactly how you do it. Do it this way. Don't do it this way. And most importantly, for you to get in touch with your intuition so that you can decide what is the right path for you. If you are ready to sign up for Own It because you want that 6 figures, you're ready to move forward with greater time, more money, greater clarity to hit that vision, then I encourage you to sign up at flourishmarketing.co/own-it. I cannot wait to see you inside of the membership. And until then, I want to help you dive a little bit more deeply with our journal prompt and mantra for this episode. I'll see you back here in just a few seconds.
This episode is brought to you by Own It, the energy-centered monthly membership program you need to build your thriving 6-figure empire in 12 months without feeling burned out, overwhelmed, or lost. After having reached 6 figures in 5 months, Alea created Own It because she discovered the only way to leave a legacy of abundance is to own your business instead of it owning you. Ditch the guesswork and hustle mentality that lead to daunting 18-hour days, missed family dinners, and stress-induced rashes. In Own It, you will join a supportive community of your fellow empire builders to take a holistic, step-by-step approach to craft a flourishing business and life via proven marketing frameworks, money-making business strategy, and centering alignment techniques. To join, head over to www.flourishmarketing.co/own-it. Your life has a greater purpose beyond the struggle. Join Own It today at www.flourishmarketing.co/own-it.
Visions can start small. You can have a vision for your day tomorrow. I have a vision that I'd like to buy new slippers, and that's what my vision looks like for this afternoon in my Amazon shopping, right? You can start off small. You can also have big visions. It doesn't really matter how big it is. And your vision doesn't have to look like somebody else's. Don't should all over your vision. My vision should be this. It shouldn't be that. Oh, that person has a bigger vision than I do. My vision should look like theirs. Nah, 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 nah. Your vision is what it is. It is your direct assignment. And sometimes we actually have a lot ahead of us, but the universe or spirit really only gives us a small amount of that vision, because if we knew the whole story, we would run. We wouldn't do it. It would terrify us. So the vision that you have right now is exactly the vision that you need to go about the rest of the course of your life. It could be that end goal vision that you have, or it could be the smaller version. And then when you get to that level, you end up being filled with passion for another vision, right? A next vision, that next step. So, right now, I want you, as your journal prompt, to write down the answer to the question, what is my 1 year vision for my life and my business? What does it look like in your business in a year from now? Write the date that you're listening to now, and then write the date that it is a year exactly from now. And think about what is happening in that year. Make it realistic for you. Again, use your SMART goals to make this thing feel very tangible. What is your 1 year vision for your life and your business? You need to get out of that forest so that you can see the trees, or out of the trees so you can see the forest. You know what I mean? You need to get some elevation going on here, right? So you can see what exactly it is that you want to plan. Because if you're just stuck on the daily grind and every day is the same, you're not going to be able to move in a different direction. You need to get some, like I said, elevation, some height to your life. And writing out this journal prompt will help you. In the process, I want you to remember that everything in your life you create, promote, and allow, and you are a powerful creator. You need to begin to create with intention. You're creating whether you like it or not. So why not create something that you love as opposed to something that you don't love? The things that you say over and over, I'm not good enough, I don't want this, I can't do this, I'm broke, I'm this, that is you creating. So instead of creating that, get that 1 year vision in your mind and say, I am a homeowner. I'm someone who goes on vacations 4 times a year. I have a baby. I love my life. I make 6 figures and I love the journey. Use those words and remind yourself in those moments when you are saying or thinking or feeling things that are out of alignment with who you truly are, the money that you want to make, the business that you want to create, and the vision that you have for your life. Say the mantra, I am a powerful creator. I am a powerful creator. I am a powerful creator. That is going to help you nip in the bud any types of doubts that comes forward as you are beginning to build your business. Inside of Own It, we talk about what it means to create and the process of creation, creating a business, creating a life, and allowing yourself the systems and the time and the freedom to create something that is in alignment with who you are and who you will become, so you can evolve for your highest good. You can have this progression of yourself and this transformation of yourself inside of Own It, from someone who didn't think they could do it to someone who is doing it, from someone who would never has made 6 figures in their life to someone who makes 6 figures with ease, to someone who doesn't believe that this is even possible, to someone who sees it in front of their eyes and says thank you every single day because they have attained their vision board. That's what we do inside of Own It. If you'd like to join us, where we have modules every single month with teaching and video content. We have a 6 figure empire roadmap that breaks down how to do it step by step. We have mantras. We have journal prompts. There's a playlist. I love the playlist. I did the playlist myself. We have your homework. We have required reading every single month with foundational books. And you also have a Slack community run by a program manager who is willing and able and thrilled to support you on your 6 figure journey. I encourage you to sign up for Own It. Go to flourishmarketing.co/own-it to sign up today if you are ready to own your life, own your business, have a relationship with your life and your business that you are like, oh, hey, lover, I love you. I love my life. I love my business. Let's do this thing. I'd like to make it official. I want to just be in this life and soak all of the goodness out of it, because that is what is possible for you. Join Own It, flourishmarketing.co/own-it. I cannot wait to see you inside of the membership. Thank you so much for listening to this mini series all about you and you and money and you and your business so that you can own it in business and in life. Until next time, my name is Alea Harris, and I will see you soon. I'm wishing you lots of love, light, and abundance. Bye for now.
This episode is brought to you by Own It, the energy-centered monthly membership program you need to build your thriving six-figure empire in 12 months without feeling burned out, overwhelmed, or lost. After having reached 6 figures in 5 months, Alea created Own It because she discovered the only way to leave a legacy of abundance is to own your business instead of it owning you. Ditch the guesswork and hustle mentality that lead to daunting 18-hour days, missed family dinners, and stress-induced rashes. In Own It, you will join a supportive community of your fellow empire builders to take a holistic, step-by-step approach to craft a flourishing business and life via proven marketing frameworks, money-making business strategy, and centering alignment techniques. To join, head over to www.flourishmarketing.co/own-it. Your life has a greater purpose beyond the struggle. Join Own It today at www.flourishmarketing.co/own-it. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Flourishing Entrepreneur Podcast with Alea Harris. Dive into the show notes at www.flourishmarketing.co/podcast and connect with Alea at Flourishing Entrepreneur on Instagram. Vibing with what you hear? Leave a 5-star review to spread the love and be sure to click subscribe. From the entire Flourish Marketing team, we wish you love, light, and abundance. See you next time.